1,000 deaths fuel the Psyker's scream as their minds are astronomicans torn psychic apart by the beacon across the galaxy, Golden Throne's insatiable hunger. 1,000 deaths fuel the Psyker's scream as their minds are astronomicans torn psychic apart by the beacon across the galaxy gold. What if his Emperor's preserved immortality is a galaxy mind-wide sacrifice, demands a silent genocide of the Imperium's brightest minds? What if his Emperor's preserved immortality is a galaxy mind-wide sacrifice? The Golden Throne does not sustain a god, it consumes minds. For 10,000 years, every genius who touched its surface has vanished, absorbed into the Emperor's endless vigil. His body sleeps. His soul burns, and the Imperium pays the price in stolen brilliance forever. The men of gold shaped it in shadowed workshops of the Dark Age, their hands trembling with ambition. A bridge to the webway, a promise of unity until the Emperor's arrival, twisted its purpose. His presence seeped into the throne's circuits, turning salvation into a gilded tomb. The webway portal remains unfinished, its edges frayed by secrets the Imperium buries deeper than voids. What they cannot admit, the throne's preservation is not protection, it is a slow, silent theft. Every mind that touches it is drawn into the Emperor's endless vigil, their brilliance siphoned into the machine's hunger. The men of gold vanished before they saw their creation's true face. Now the throne whispers in static, its unfinished form a monument to what was stolen. The Imperium calls it a triumph. They do not see the cost thou each generation's greatest minds fade, consumed by the Emperor's unrelenting need. A galaxy of brilliance reduced to ash, the throne's golden light hides a darker truth: immortality is not a gift. It is a price paid in stolen fire, in minds that never rise again. And still the Imperium kneels, blind to the sacrifice etched into every circuit, every wire, every soul that dares to dream too long. The throne humps a low, metallic dirge that vibrates through the bone of the chamber. Psykers kneel in rows, their faces slick with sweat, their eyes bleeding silver as the astronomican's light fractures their minds. Each scream is a thread in a tapestry of agony, woven daily into the Emperor's half-life. The air reeks of ozone and something older, something that smells of burnt parchment and forgotten gods. Tech Marines in soot-stained armor move like ghosts, their hands never still, their voices muffled by respirators that hiss with every breath. One Psyker, a child no older than 14, claws at the floor as if it might hold her together. Her mind splinters into 1,000 shards, each one a star in the Emperor's eternal sky. The High Lords watch from shadows, their faces carved from stone. They know, they always know. The Emperor's voice is a whisper in the dark, a promise of salvation that drowns in the screams. His body is a monument, his mind a prison. Every circuit in the throne throbs with the weight of 1,000 deaths, each one a sacrifice no one can undo. The Imperium ships drift through the stars, blind to the price paid in blood and brilliance. The Emperor does not sleep. He does not rest, he is a god of ash and light, and the galaxy burns to keep him alive. The Adeptus Custodes guard the Golden Throne, 10,000 men of gold, sworn to silence. They do not know what lies beneath their vigil. The men of gold built it, their hands shaping the first iron from the Emperor's own wounds. The Horus heresy left him broken, his body cradled in the throne's cold embrace. Primarchs bled for it. Guilliman's fist shattered against its gilded shell. Each day 1,000 Psykers ascend. Their minds unravel, their voices fade. The astronomican's hunger grows. The Emperor does not sleep, he does not rest. He is a god of ash and light, and the galaxy burns to keep him alive. What becomes of the minds sacrificed? They do not die, they do not live. They are consumed, their brilliance devoured by the throne's insatiable will. The Imperium's greatest minds, its visionaries, its seers, its architects of the future are reduced to fuel. The Custodes watch. They do not question, they do not weep, they know the price, they have always known, the throne demands. It always has, the Emperor's preservation is not salvation, it is a slow, unrelenting theft, a galaxy-wide sacrifice. 1,000 souls a day, their potential snuffed out, their dreams stolen. The throne does not care, it never has. It only needs, and the Imperium in its desperate devotion gives. What if the Emperor's immortality came at the cost of every brilliant soul who ever touched the throne? The throne does not preserve the Emperor. It devours the Imperium's genius, siphoning brilliance into the void where the Emperor's essence was forged shamanic sacrifice, not salvation. Every mind that touches it dies, fueling a godless immortality. The Imperium's future is not lost, it is consumed. The Golden Throne is not salvation, it is a funeral pyre burning across millennia. Every soul who touches it dies, their brilliance fed to a godless machine. The Imperium clings to this lie, to the Emperor's unblinking gaze, even as his silence consumes them. Faith is not devotion. It is a chain. The Adeptus Ministorum preaches to empty altars, their hymns a dirge for a god who never spoke. The Astronomic enchains minds to a psychic leash, its whispers a curse masquerading as guidance. The Emperor's body is preserved, but his will is a void. The Council of Nicaea burned psychic power, yet the throne demands it. Magnus the Red screamed against this, his defiance a requiem for minds stolen by the Imperium's hunger. The Emperor who once outlawed worship, now binds billions to a cult of the dead. Cult of the galaxy dead dies not in fire, but in slow suffocation. The throne's curse is not in its silence, but in its demand. Every scientist, every philosopher, every spark of genius is snuffed to fuel a corpse. The Imperium's war against the warp is not for salvation, it is for survival, a desperate attempt to keep the Emperor's corpse from rotting. What if the Emperor's immortality is a hollow shell? What if his preservation is not a triumph, but a theft? The Imperium's future is not lost, it is consumed. One by one they vanish, and the throne watches, hungry. Beneath Terra's marble halls the Golden Throne rests. 10,000 custodes stand sentry, their silence a vow. No one knows what lies beneath the throne's gilded shroud, only that something hunts. The Imperium's brightest minds are drawn, lured by promises of divinity. They vanish. Their minds, their souls, their potential all absorbed into the throne's endless hunger. The Emperor's body endures, his will remains unbroken. But what of those who served? What of those who gave? The throne does not ask, it takes, it needs. Each sacrifice fuels a preservation that outlives empires. 1,000 years pass, 1,000,000, and still the throne waits. Are they martyrs or prisoners? The custodes guard the truth, the faithful pray, the galaxy whispers. And the throne, ever hungry, demands more. What if the Emperor's immortality is not a gift, but a curse? What if his preservation is not salvation, but a sacrifice? The Imperium's greatest minds are not lost, they are consumed. One by one, forever. The Golden Throne stands as a monument to what the Imperium clings to, a body suspended in stasis. A mind frozen in time. For 10,000 years the Emperor has watched. His preservation is not salvation. It is a slow, relentless theft. Every scholar who touches the throne vanishes. Every genius who kneels before it is lost. The Imperium survives not through strength but through sacrifice. Its faith is a shield, its faith is a curse. The throne demands blood, it demands minds, it demands forever. The Emperor's immortality is a galaxy-wide wound. A price paid in silence, in the names of those who never return. What if the Imperium's greatest minds are not dead? What if they are simply gone? What if the Emperor's immortality came at the cost of every brilliant soul who ever touched the throne? The Emperor's Children novel, How a Primarch's Heresy Became the Imperium's Greatest Weapon. What secrets does the Astronomican hide? What if the Imperium's